The day dawned wrong. The light streamed through the window as if too tired to illuminate the room. It wasn't golden, nor warm. It was pale, weak, the kind that doesn't dispel shadows, it only lengthens them. The clock read 6:17. It always read 6:17, every morning. Even when the power went out, even when the batteries were changed, even after falling to the floor and breaking the glass. In that house, time didn't move forward, it waited. I got out of bed with the feeling that someone had just left the room. The air was too cold for a normal start to the day. The silence, heavy, as if it had physical weight. In the hallway, the mirror was covered with a dark cloth. I didn't remember doing that, but I remembered exactly why I shouldn't have taken it off, because the last time I looked directly at it, the reflection blinked first. I knew I shouldn't touch the cloth, but my fingers moved on their own, pulling the fabric inch by inch until it revealed the stained glass, and there I was, standing, pale, except that my reflection smiled, a smile too slow to be human, as if it were learning to use its face for the first time. The room's temperature dropped sharply, and the clock on the wall began to vibrate silently, still stuck at 6:17, while small cracks appeared in the mirror, forming symbols I recognized from the scribbles I found weeks ago behind the walls, symbols that spoke of exchange, of passage, of debt. The smile in the reflection widened as much as possible, revealing a darkness where teeth should have been, and then it whispered my name without moving its lips, reminding me that I had agreed that night, the night my memory insists on hiding, to give something in exchange for more time for her, more time for me. It took longer than ever before. The cloth fell to the floor by itself, and behind me I heard footsteps that didn't touch the floor, approaching slowly, as if their owner was getting used to walking on this side of the glass.
My body stiffened as the footsteps stopped right behind me, too close to ignore. But when I tried to turn around, I felt cold hands cross my shoulders, not holding me, just measuring me, like someone evaluating an object before taking it. The reflection tilted its head, curious, and the cracks in the mirror pulsed in the same rhythm as my heart, each beat making the symbols clearer, hungrier. A whisper arose from every corner of the room at once, repeating that the curse didn't live in the house, nor in the mirror, but in the agreement sealed with dried blood under the wooden floorboards. The clock trembled harder, the second hand spinning in impossible circles, and for a moment I saw images I didn't remember experiencing. Lit candles, a name being said backwards, and me accepting without understanding the real price. The air became thick, difficult to breathe, and I felt something slide into my shadow, occupying a space that had always been empty, waiting. The reflection opened its mouth to scream, but the sound came from me, echoing down the hallway, calling something that responded with a dry crack from the back of the house, getting closer and closer, increasingly aware that I was awake. The presence behind me suddenly recoiled, as if summoned back, and the room began to brighten awkwardly, the light becoming less hostile, almost normal. The smile in the mirror weakened, becoming rigid, rehearsed, until it disappeared completely, leaving only my motionless, frightened reflection. The clock gave a single click and advanced 1 minute, 6:18, as if it were a gift, not a warning. The air began to circulate again, bringing a distant smell of fresh coffee that shouldn't exist in that house. From the hallway, I heard a familiar voice calling my name, soft, every day, exactly as it had been before everything went wrong. The cracks in the mirror slowly closed, hiding the symbols as if they had never been there. The cloth fell again onto the glass, folded with excessive care. For a moment, the house seemed just a house, But something inside me knew with silent certainty that this wasn't the end of the curse. It was merely the interval in which she pretended to sleep.
I followed the voice into the living room, and it was there that I realized the house was wrong in a deeper way, as if each wall hid something waiting to be remembered. The floor creaked, forming repeated patterns, always the same, guiding my steps to the center of the room. The old photos hung crookedly, showing no faces, only dark stains where people should be. I touched the wall and felt a slight pulse under the plaster, like a buried heart. A piece of paper peeled off on its own, revealing marks carved into the wood, dates that followed no order whatsoever. Under the rug, I found symbols identical to those on the mirror, worn by time, as if the house had been sealed from the inside out. Each door seemed heavier than before, reluctant to be opened. The silence was no longer empty, it was attentive. And at that moment, I understood that the curse was not attached to the house. The house was the curse itself, waiting for someone to remember why. When the basement door opened by itself, the metallic smell rose like a belated warning, and I went down anyway, feeling the house tighten around me. The lamp flickered and revealed the floor covered in drag marks, all pointing to the center, where a circle was etched deep into the stone. In the middle of it, I found old tools, dull from use, still warm to the touch. The walls began to bleed slowly, not in gushes, but in patient trickles, as if the house knew how to wait. I heard muffled screams that I recognized as my own, repeated at different times, trapped there like insects in amber. A chest opened with a dry crack and revealed bones organized by size, all with small plates engraved with names hastily scratched in. My name was there. The clock reappeared at the bottom of the basement, marking 6:17 again, and then I understood that I had never truly progressed. The house moved, closing the exit, and something heavy fell behind me. Breathing. I felt teeth meet my skin, not to kill, but to teach. Each bite was a memory returned by force, each pain a reaffirmed agreement. I tried to scream, but the house swallowed the sound and returned only an obedient echo. The tools rose on their own, aligning themselves around the circle. When my legs gave way, the floor embraced me with cruel affection. The lamp went out completely. In the darkness, I heard the house sigh, satisfied. The clock struck one last time, 6:17, and then it all began again. And that's when the pain stopped. There was no liberation, no eternal darkness, just a sudden cut, as if someone had switched something off. I opened my eyes and was lying on the living room floor, the sun streaming through the window at an angle too ordinary to be comforting. No blood, no circle, no house breathing. The clock on the wall showed a normal time. The walls were smooth. The photos had faces. I got up with difficulty, nervously laughing at my own imagination, trying to convince my body that it had all been a delusion, a dream caused by tiredness, stress, too many stories in my head. I picked up my phone to check the time. 6:17 a.m. A notification flashed on the screen. A recommended video. A title too simple to grab attention. Did you just wake up too? And for a short, impossible second before the screen went blank, I saw my own reflection smile, belatedly, as if I had just arrived here.